Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Ferenike and I am so excited to be back. The last 3 weeks I started with my new role at WGSN and it's been quite of a hectic time to try to wrap my head around new information. Therefore, I didn't have enough brain juices to come up with new creative ideas for videos. So that's why it's been quiet on that front. But today's video I am very excited about. It's about the science behind karma. And you've probably have heard about karma before. Probably a colleague or a friend or a family member have said to you, don't do that because karma will bite you back. But what does that really mean, and how is that relevant on a day-to-day life? Well, lots of digital intellectuals and YouTubers talk about the law of attraction, which is a universal law. Very few people talk about the third law of motion, or Newton's law, which is essentially another universal law that we learned at physics class when we were young, and it goes something like this: that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. What the teacher didn't tell you though, that is actually relevant for you and your life or on a daily basis. So let me just give you an example. Okay, let's say we have Philip and we have Laura. Philip and Laura, they've met at work. Laura has a boyfriend and she's really sweet and nice and cute and confident, and Philip really likes Laura, and he tries to approach her, try to talk to her, try to pursue her. Laura, she's a bit skeptical at the beginning because she has a boyfriend, but she does like Philip, and then after 2 or 3 months or 4 months, she decides, you know what, let me try out Philip because he seems very persistent and he really likes me. So she goes on a date with him, and the first date goes really well, and they go on a second date and third date and fourth date, and essentially Laura breaks up with her boyfriend and she goes ahead with Philip, and they have a really good time together. They enjoy that time together, they get married, they have children, and after 5 years, Laura, she's out at an event, a conference, and she meets someone else called Nick. Let's call him Nick for just for an example, and she really likes Nick, and Nick goes ahead to pursue her, and essentially Laura breaks up with Philip and goes ahead with Nick, and that is essentially just what do you make out of this? Actually, there's so many examples like that out there, and why I'm saying that is because that is exactly Newton's law. That is exactly the third law of motion. That whatever energy you put out there in the world, you choose to put out there, that is exactly the energy that will come back to you. We are all humans, and therefore we are made out of energy. Like, we are energy, and we are responsible for the energy we put out there. And for every time any type of energy we put that out there, that will come back to us no matter what. It might not come back to us in the same form or action like the example, but it will always, no matter what, come back to us. There's no way around it. You can't get away from it. But that's what I think it's important to consider and think about, because in our day-to-day life, at work, with our friends, with our relationships with our spouse, with a boyfriend, we very often go ahead with other people's agendas or other people's intentions, and we go ahead and we live our life like that. But I'd like you to consider and think about the intention, not the action itself, but the intention behind the action, the reason why you do what you do. Because that is what comes back to you. It's the energy that comes back to you, not the action, and that's the difference between the two. I watched the Essence conference, and Oprah Winfrey mentioned there, and I will put the link below to watch it for yourself. She said that for 25 years at the Oprah Winfrey show, every time she had a guest, she would sit down before the show and ask the guest, what is your intention for sharing that story here at the Oprah Winfrey show today? And the guest would say, because I thought that this was not fair and I want to let people know. So Oprah Winfrey would say that I appreciate that. What I can do is I'm in charge of the mic, and what I can do is I can share your story in order, and all the questions I would ask you throughout the interview will be for other people, for the viewers, for the audience, to understand something that you know, or to empower them, or to enlighten them, or to help them understand your case and learn from it. And that was her intention for the duration of the Oprah Winfrey Show for 25 years. And that's exactly why that show was very successful. So it doesn't matter what you do, it's the intention behind what you do, the reason why you do what you do. And that is the energy you put out there, that is the energy you're responsible for, and that is exactly the energy that will come back to you every single time. So once I realized that, I'm like, ooh, I better be very, very clear with what is the energy I'm putting out there, because I want the best to come back to me. So it's something worth considering for and sort of thinking about. Let me know what is your experience with regards to that, whether you have seen that for yourself, any positive or negative examples, because we can learn from both. And I will be back with more content like that. I love you all.